evening or good morning, since it's past midnight over here, out in the good old state of California. I'm going to discuss my personal experiences with my sexual experiences and having Aspergers, and how it affected me personally, and how being hypersexual, what it's done to me and how it's affected me. When I was a kid, like I said earlier before, I first fell in love with Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct and in Total Recall. And I fell in love with this image right here, which I'll show you here, why I got into that. For those of you that have seen Basic Instinct, you'll know she wore that white dress, Marilyn Monroe-esque dress. Now, this is over 30 years ago, mind you. And when I saw her, I was just totally blown away. I was only about like 7 years old, 6 years old. And I fell in love with this image right here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to bring it closer to the camera. That iconic image right there from the movie. So it made me fall in love with her. And she played Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife in Total Recall. And I was just majorly attracted to her. And I always knew from the time I was a kid that I wanted to be with somebody that was blonde and blue-eyed, and that's what I was attracted to. I was never ever attracted to people that were of darker colored skin. I mean, it's just the way I am. Even though I'm darker skinned, I'm not really attracted to those who are dark skinned. It's just a personal preference, and a lot of people are that way too as well. But anyways, with after I'd first seen her, I was just taken all the way by her. Totally breathless. It's that movie has got a lot of sexual tension and a lot of sex in it. It's kind of softcore porn, but also has that neo-noir kind of style from the 40s. Mystery, murder mystery, whodunit. I recommend you see it if you haven't seen it. When I was about 16, I met this woman who was a member of the same gym that I went to, and we were in the same swimming pool together, and we met, and we basically would play around in the pool. I'd get to carry her on my back. I get to carry her around, and it was the first time I ever got to really touch a girl and pick up a girl, hold her on my shoulders. And I was really like in love with her, like literally. Like I thought this was the woman I was gonna spend my life with. I mean, I was only 16 and she was about 30 years old. I was back then attracted to people who were older. I was never really attracted to people my age at that time. It's now that I'm attracted to people who are younger than me, that are 18 and up. But back then, when I was under 18, I was only attracted to people that were in their 30s or late 20s and even 40s and 50s. Anyways, we would play around a lot in the pool and splash each other. And she let me fondle her and touch her. And I was really obsessed. I only went to the gym to go see her. And I really thought that she was going to be the one. And for like many, many years, I put my energy into her. And several years later, after I was well past 18, I was like 21, 22, something like that. One of my cousin's friends was also going to the gym too, and he happened to be a co-worker of hers. And she had suggested that we all hang out, and we went to go eat at Chili's. And I guess she had been drinking, and then he had suggested that we go to this swimming pool area that was local in the area. It was a private residential area with houses, and there was a pool and a hot tub. And there's an area his parents, I guess, lived in, and he climbed over the fence and let us in, and we were all in the hot tub together. And we were both giving her massages, and she basically flashed her boobs at me and him. And the thing was, I was the one that liked her and wanted her. I didn't want him doing anything with her, but he ended up getting her that night, and I was really heartbroken by it, and really felt like I was destroyed and defeated. Anyways, what happened was, we were in the hot tub. She's motioning towards him. She pulls down his shorts and she starts basically giving him a blowjob, oral sex, right in front of me. And here, I'm still a virgin. I've never had sex, and I'm seeing her give head to my cousin's best friend. And naturally, you already know, I'm shocked, but I'm also really like angry at the same time. And I'm trying to combat my feelings of anger and rage. I felt betrayed, and I felt like that she was supposed to be mine, not his. But she told me that she was teasing me and provoking me and telling me that I would never ever have a woman or never ever have pussy in my life. And she was like blowing him, deep throating him, and she was saying, "You see this? You'll never have this." And that provoked me so much that I considered fucking breaking her neck or drowning her in the hot tub. I strongly considered it, but I didn't want to go to jail or prison for it. But I was really angry about it, and I went home that day. I cried my eyes out like a pussy, and I hated myself for putting myself in that situation. So I stopped talking to her, but I was still kind of in love with her, even after all that. And a couple years later, I find out that she ends up having a kid with some guy, not my cousin's friend, but some other guy. She ends up having a couple kids, and now she's like in her 50s. She doesn't talk to me because of that incident, and that incident was almost 20 years ago. It's just amazing how people are. That was like my first experience seeing somebody else get action. But I have many of stories that have happened. Her name was Martha. She was Nicaraguan and I think El Salvadorian. She had very pale white skin and dark hair. She was kind of heavy set, but like very small breasts, but very big bottom, very big legs and thighs, which I always enjoyed caressing and stroking and touching. I used to always like putting my thumb in the back of her knee and rubbing it. And I used to like, grabbing and touching. It just made me feel so good. It made me feel so alive. She was the first girl I ever touched that way. I thought that we were going to go somewhere in life. But now when I look at her and I see her, like, she completely ignores me, and I'm like, whatever. Even all these years later. And I don't have that feeling for her anymore. I've moved on since then. It's been a long time. It's been almost 20 years. But that was my first real experience with a woman that let me touch her. Which it was also illegal because I was a minor at the time. But you know how it is. Every minor wants to nail an older mill for a cougar. Every guy does. Every boy, every 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old boy wants to be with their teacher or with an older female. So I know you guys do too, so don't lie to yourself. It is against the law, but in some other states, I guess it might be legal because different ages in different states. Here in California, it's 18, the age of consent. That's why I would never personally go for anybody that was under 18. I mean, 18 is already too young for me as is. I'm 37. I would prefer somebody that's between 21 and 30, ideally. Not necessarily someone who's my age, because they already have children. And that's a problem when you're with somebody who's my age or around my age or in their 30s, most of them already have kids. And I'm not really into the idea of raising another man's child. I mean, I love kids, but I want my own kids. I don't want to take care of another guy's kids. I want my own. I deserve to have my own. And I'm willing to fight to have my own, but only with somebody that's never had kids before. I'm not going to be with somebody that already has kids and is already established. Yeah, that was my first experience, and it took until many years later till I met my other girlfriend, Catherine, about 10 years ago. Like I was saying, her father was a cop, and she was bipolar, and she was a cutter. And I was drawn to her, but she would go like hot and cold on me. One minute she'd love me, the next minute she'd want to kill me. And I really thought we were going to be together forever, and I was really like head over heels for her. And I didn't go all the way with her, but I got to basically suck her breast. She was 19 years old, I was 27, going on 28, or I was 28 at the time actually. And her dad was a cop, and she was wanting me to knock her up so that he would throw her out. And her favorite show was Teen Mom. And I tried to tell her, listen, we're both not ready for kids. We need to wait. And she basically said, fuck you to me. She's going to do what she wants to do regardless. And that was the end of that. I ended up losing her. And I met my other girlfriend, Lilia, the one I told you about last time. And Catherine wanted to get back with me after I'd already hooked up with Lilia. And I told her that I really wanted to give her another chance, but the fact that she left me like that and betrayed me made me not trust her and made me live in fear, because I have abandonment issues and attachment issues. I can't just, if I'm with somebody, they got to be with me all the way 100%. No family, no religion, or anything to get in the way. They need to be with me fully. I don't mean spend 24/7 with me, but they need to be committed to me, to the relationship, and to my needs and wants. And I got to do the same for them too, but their needs have to be like mine. Like, their needs can't be about religion and family and whatever other bullshit there is. I'd rather be with somebody who's goal-oriented than family-oriented, because that's what's better for me. It works for me. Yeah, that was my second experience. I'll show you a picture of me and her so you know. It was a really rough life. I kind of wish sometimes the relationship never happened. And I always wonder what would have happened if I'd remained a virgin and was never with any of my girlfriends till now. I probably would have honestly died, because I had told my friend at the time that I'm approaching 30. Unless I get a girlfriend soon, I'm going to kill myself, and I was real adamant about doing it. I wasn't kidding around or playing around. I strongly considered it at the time. I was drinking every day. I didn't want to live. I was really depressed. Shitty home life. I mean, I tell you, pussy will make you do some crazy things. It'll make you want to kill yourself or others. Like, if another guy gets in your way, you're going to want to hurt that guy. Like, when a guy gets in my way, I end up wanting to hurt him. When it comes to a woman that I want to be with. And I'm very dominant. I don't just let people walk in my circle. This was my bride-to-be, Catherine. You know, when we broke up, it was really hard on me. We're only together for a month, so I can blow it up. We took this picture at a Starbucks. Yeah, but back then I didn't know that what I didn't want to deal with was someone's family, but after her I realized I would never want to deal with family again. And I was put in that situation again when I was with Lilia. And the same thing happened with my last girlfriend too. And that's why I've kind of steered clear from a relationship. As I've said, if you have Aspergers, a relationship is going to be very, very difficult to carry on. And if two people have Aspergers, or if one has got some kind of mental defect, such as bipolar or schizophrenia, you can bet your ass that the relationship's probably not going to succeed. It's going to be doomed for disaster. And if you're like me and you're not family-oriented or religious, and you just want a relationship, and you're only concerned about the relationship and what goes on in the relationship, and the girl lives with her family or loves her family, and that's what she's about, and she seeks for approval of her family, of you, then I guarantee you it's not going to work. Because for me, I'll not be with somebody that's going to seek approval of their family about me. That just doesn't work. At my age, it's not appropriate. That's why I only date somebody that lives on their own and that doesn't still live at home with parents. But even people that are my age that live on their own, even where I'm at right now, their parents still fucking hold on like fucking puppy dogs. They don't let them be. They're controlling, manipulative, domineering, just like the way my mom used to be. But my mom's disabled now, so she could never be that way again. She's the one that needs my help. She's disabled. So, I mean, you guys should figure out what you want and what you want to do, and not let your parents control your life. If you're in love with somebody, make sure that, your wants and needs align with each other, that there's that connection. Because if you guys want different things or on a separate path, like I've always been for my partners, you're going to go like this. There's no way about it, no two ways. That's that. I'm saying you're shit out of luck. So, figure it out. I wish you luck.